Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Blue Gamer Bluecast Morning Show. I'm your host, Adam Blue, 30 plus year video game enthusiast and industry analyst. I start with 30 plus year video game enthusiast because I haven't been a 30 plus year industry analyst, or have I? Have I the whole time really been paying attention to all the background stuff? But morning, Ultronymous. Thanks for the shout out on that interview. Yeah, if you head to the Gundam Explain channel later, you'll see I have an interview with someone from Bandai Namco Collectibles. It was fun. It was just two dudes that like toys talking about it. It was fun. Jim Killex, good to see you this morning. Every time I see that coffee, it makes me can't wait to get my coffee, which luckily my wife goes and gets Starbucks. I went like 2 months without coffee. And then went back to it. I think, at least for me, like, I don't necessarily need it, but I think it does awaken tendencies in me to then need something. Like it's, cravings or what. Anyway, that's another podcast. Team T. Yeah, that's what I actually used to do every morning. I still do it every once in a while, actually. No, but yeah, we'll have a good show today. I'm going to play some of the Power Rangers Rita's Rewind that came out yesterday. As a whole, I like it, but as a super fan of the genre that this is, I have things to say. And considering that G.I. Joe game came out this year, they're both almost the same thing, but they're doing things differently. And we'll get to that. In a second. What we'll do real quick is, jump into what I've been playing. So played some more Indiana Jones. I got up super early this morning for some reason, so I played a little bit more. And it's, I would say if it wasn't Indiana Jones, I would not be playing the game. Let me put it that way. I think because of maybe my age, like I grew up, those movies were badass. I mean, Raiders, Temple of Doom, and then Last Crusade came out later for me, and loved them. But like, nothing was happening with Indiana Jones much through the years. There would be the games. I think there was one on, I think it was N64. There was the Super Nintendo trilogy. There was N64, blah, blah, blah. And then Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out, and then that was just not a great movie, and I pretty much just didn't care about Indiana Jones anymore. But like, knowing that they're going to make a game, and it's a modern game, it's like, okay, let me jump in and see this. And just playing it, I'm like, you know what? No. I think, I still like Indiana Jones, but the game that I'm playing is just again, it's because it's Indiana Jones and I'm seeing an Indiana Jones story, I am intrigued. But then there's some moments that happen, like where the game is like, you take these 4 pictures, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then you look at the 4 pictures, and then, the game tells you, okay, then there's these 4 things. And the way I'm trying to explain it is, it's very non-movie like, it's very video game like, which that makes sense. But then what you're actually doing, so like walking around in the world, getting the dialogue, exploring, that's all very cinematic. But then when it comes to a puzzle, the game decides to throw in like, do these 4 things and then this door opens. And that's like such a weak gameplay element for the game mainly being a narrative-driven story. It's almost like they were trying to marry, let's make a cinematic game and a game, and I think this is where I'd go back and say The Last of Us did it well. I'm not a fan of The Last of Us, and I think it's because I didn't care for the story, and it was more story-driven. And the gameplay was fun, but it had better gameplay than this Indiana Jones game. And so I would say, and again, this is all personal preference. It could be that people like the slower nature of the Indiana Jones game, like this puzzle, But I will say that my idea Indiana Jones game would be just Sniper Elite, the Sniper Elite games, and then just your main weapon would be a whip. And it would allow you to swing, to knock enemies' weapons out of hands, because in Sniper Elite, you're like sneaking into these giant bases, and sometimes it's more than just base. It's like you got a village, and then you got buildings, and you're getting artifacts, you're stopping Nazis. It's all very Indiana Jones-like, but with more cohesive game gameplay, mechanics. So I'm probably still going to play a little bit of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, but it's not like it is activating any neurons as I'm playing. It's just very like, you walk here, you do this, you do that story. Graphics are incredible. Troy Baker doing the voice of Indiana Jones is incredible. There's a lot of incredible things happening. But it's just, yeah. And then I'll move on. So I just had the hankering, and I think this is because of that coffee, where it's like I feel a need to do something, and it was play some more Godzilla PS3, because I'm like, hey, I got trophies I can get. So I went back into Kaiju, King of Kaiju mode, and was able to beat it in under 6 minutes. I think it was because after you beat it, you then unlock the ability to use Burning Godzilla and Godzilla 2014. Again, this is the PS3 version. The PS4 version has more to it. And then I went back through, and I guess I earned all the bases in diorama mode, and I earned all the entries in the Kaiju Guide. There's still more I need to do. You can see 31 out of 41 entries. One of them is to take 100 photographs in diorama mode. When you go to take a photograph, you set the scene, you hit take photograph, and then you wait, and wait, and then it's done. And it's like, okay, to do that 100 times, maybe I'll chip away at 5 a day. Because there's no way I'm going to take 100 diorama photos naturally. And I saw that the PS4 version doesn't have that trophy, which is very interesting. So I guess they knew and they took it out. But again, I really want to play this on PS4. I have a PS4 emulator. I have the ROM. The game just can't launch yet, even though it's recognized and everything. I would buy it, but it's over $200. So there's that. All right, and then Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. I played, 49 minutes. I beat episode 1, land 9 punches in a row as the Megazord, defeat Goldar, achieve a 25-hit combo, complete the training mode. This Power Rangers game, again, it reminds me of the G.I. Joe game, Wrath of Cobra, both beat-em-ups that are pixel art. They are doing so many things right, but fundamentally missing some things. And we're going to get into that, but what I will say is with the G.I. Joe game, it has a great combat system. But on a fundamental level, the stage design, and the, how do I put it? The balance of health in when you're fighting and all that, like it's not tweaked right, and I would even say even the block button, B, that's your block. It's almost the same as in Power Rangers. B is a dodge, but you just press it when you don't want to get hit. In G.I. Joe, it's a block, but it doesn't have any weight to it, so it's really hard to get a feel of it. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers game is very different, as in G.I. Joe, you press right trigger for your special. In Power Rangers, you press Y or triangle for your special. The reason I don't like that in Power Rangers is because in G.I. Joe, X and Y, or square and triangle, were your combos, your different attacks. In the Power Rangers game, there's only one button to attack. And I think that's the fundamental issue that's missing to make the moment-to-moment action a little more interesting. That's what G.I. Joe does right, is you can't rely on, okay, I'm fighting this enemy, what sort of combo setup should I be using because it's this enemy? I might have to do a bigger breakdown in a video, but that's my, but okay, the other thing, and we'll get to it, that the G.I. Joe game does right, or the Power Ranger game does right, is it breaks up the normal levels with some pretty awesome, like, and I'll show you some special stages. But G.I. Joe doesn't have that. It's just like, and I think that's another problem with the G.I. Joe game. Let me grab it. Okay. Okay. Music is awesome. Although I like the music, this has more interesting tracks. There is a Power Rangers beat 'em up on Xbox and PS4 that came out 10 years ago by now? I don't know. I like that music better, but this has more tracks, more varied music. You know what, Gemkill X? This is, I feel like they went for being, okay, why is it? More like, can I not? Oh, controller's not on. To me, it seemed like they were just trying to be Shredder's Revenge, which there's nothing wrong with that. I just think even Shredder's Revenge to me was a little, it also didn't have the dual combo. Anyway, graphics are awesome. I have the CRT filter turned off because I felt like everyone's, growing up, everyone's had a different experience with CRT TVs. You know, I think I've gotten to the point where I enjoy seeing the pixel art for how it is, and they're not designing the pixel art for scan lines. All right. So it's very interesting. As I was playing yesterday, there was only story, bonus options, and exit game, and then when I logged off, there was an update that added play online, which is 6 players. 3 can be on one machine, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, we'll go to story mode. Look at all this pixel art.
Choose your ranger.
Like, that pixel art, to me, this is amazing. Okay. So I'm going through all the Power Rangers as I play. And so you can see, like the Ninja Turtle game, it sets up where there's this map. You can see, okay, I only have 1 check on this level, I only have 1, none, you know, so you can kind of see what to do. The G.I. Joe game didn't do that at all. So I wonder what we should do.
Good luck, Rangers.
So again, as we look at all of this, so one, the music sounds great. But I feel like the Power Ranger music in the other beat 'em up was a little better. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I will say, these enemies are pretty annoying. There's an attack where you're supposed to press up and attack at the same time, but it doesn't always time correctly, and that's kind of annoying. So one problem this game has is how slow the characters move. That's annoying. Like, they're to get the enemy that's blocked. Okay, so like, this might not seem slow. This is slow. But I can double tap to run, which I love to do. But, like, you know, and double tap to run to do an attack. But I'd rather your normal movement be a little faster, but you still have the option to, you know, double tap to run. Oh yeah, they got the ooze, well, I think it's the ooze birds, if I remember correctly. So again, okay, another thing this does pretty cool is it has a double jump. The thing is, it's not something that you would normally be using in combat unless a specific instance that's like, oh, I might as, and I just got myself hit doing it. Oh, and then like there you saw me accidentally do the up. And it doesn't always trigger. Like, I'm trying to do it now. There we go. Okay, so yeah, my complaint being that there's only 1 button to attack, and you walk very slow. And then accidentally, yeah, that move, I'm always accident. Because I'm trying to walk up. If I went to walk up and hit an enemy at the same time, it would just activate my jump attack. This is weird. I'm not understanding this completely. It's a very weird mechanic that I think, okay, I'm going to end up losing. Like, I've never done it on the first try. So this happens, the game rewinds, and then it allows me to do it again. This happens. But the health is lower and lower, so you get it eventually. It's kind of weird. There was a level I was on where I did it like 4 times because I couldn't get it to. It just, so far, it doesn't add any particular gameplay element at all. It's just like this random time thing will show up, and if you don't blow it up on time, it makes you go back in time. I don't know if that's just to add some gameplay elements. Don't know what the coins do yet. Oh yeah, the other thing is it's just like Ninja Turtles. There's the B button or circle on PlayStation is this, but you can see, like, I'm pressing it again. You have to, you can, how do I explain it? You can, like, go back and forth, sometimes pretty quick, but then sometimes it doesn't. There's, like, a delay. But sometimes you can get it to do it quickly. Anyway, I think there's a little bit of, I don't know what it is with the controls, where, again, your character moves slow, and sometimes, like, the up attack and the dodge won't always trigger when you want it to. And because it's unreliable and there's not that many attacks, that's where I say, like, it's like, well, it could have had more to it. Whereas, I'm saying this because the G.I. Joe game actually does this. Or, any other brawler. I can't think of any off the top of my head because it's hard to play and think. It's hard to think in general. Oh yeah, that's interesting how it's a double jump. So if you do a double jump and then land, that does that attack. Or double jump and attack. Not many of these beat 'em ups have double jumps, so that's pretty cool. See, again, I accidentally did that attack. Yeah, well, that was cool, so I could hit them in the air and then do the. See, I tried to trigger it, and you have to be way too precise. Because I think they want to avoid you walking up and then doing it, but if you were to try to walk up and hit at the same time, I don't know. I don't think that's a good attack they should have added. It should have been more of you jump, you press up, and attack. Right now, if you jump and press attack, it goes down. It should be jump up and attack to attack up. Oh yeah, and then sometimes you can dodge into an attack. Okay, what do we got here? Boss, let's see.
Give up, Rangers.
If I memorized. Nope.
Whoa, what happened?
So you can see how I kind of dodged through his. It doesn't always work.
Use a hand.
That.
Whoa, what happened?
Oh, I shouldn't have done it when I did.
Making progress.
I will say I do like that it. Even right now, the reason I wasn't talking too much is there's a degree of difficulty. Like I really have to. I could get hit really easily if I'm not paying attention.
Stay focused.
Okay. Is there a skill shop?
Teamwork.
Good question. There is no skill shop. Unlocking moves, no, there's none of that. And that's the other little thing about this. Okay, so if I beat it faster, I would have got that other ring. And so that's the other thing. Unless more unlocks as I go, there isn't anything else. Like when you beat it, I think you get some bonus time attack mode or something. Okay, so watch all this because this is incredible. Like, with all the complaints that I make, like, there's some things in this that are just awesome. So, and I saw, when I was playing this before, I saw a secret that I missed, so I'm gonna try to get it this time. But, like, to me, this is awesome in so many ways. It looks old school. Oh, it's like I'm having to do a lot of thinking. It looks old school, but, like, the graphics, though, are very, like, clear. You know, because they're able to, you know, add a lot to it. So, I don't know if I get something if I take out all those things. Yeah, so I don't know what the coins are for then. Unless it's just points. Or maybe something unlocks later where I can... Because I'm another level ahead here, a couple levels. And I got to a part that was actually... Oh, there's that secret I was talking about. I just jumped over it. Okay. I got a couple levels ahead, but it does get hard. I think the game it's set up in a way to make you, to like repeatedly play the levels to like figure out what the secrets are. And so, yeah, I know I'm not talking because I'm trying to focus on this, but this is an example of like, what I think is a great little side thing to be doing. I wonder if you get something for shooting all these down, or if it's even possible. Yeah, look at my health. Like, it's... I think, again, if you play it over and over and over, like, you'll... Oh, and Ultronimus, talking about, like, playing with friends. I think that's the other thing here. The idea is playing with others. Behind. Can I shoot from here? Ow. Okay, proud of myself. Didn't die. But there's still chances to die. Yeah, this would... Just looking at this would be fun with other people, just because of what's going on. The Ninja Turtle game was fun with a lot of people. Okay, yeah, that. I'm almost dead. Oh, I am dead. Yeah, you get something if you... Like, I think, yeah, one of the... Man, did I just get hit really bad? You actually, yeah, one of the, what am I trying to say? Little goals is to beat a level without dying. I remember in the Ninja Turtle game, one of the challenges was, was to beat it without getting hit. The first level, I couldn't do that. It might be with like multiple people. Yeah, and I think that might be the same with the G.I. Joe game. Like, it might just be better with more people, but then maybe that was optimized wrong for single player. I might have to see. I wonder if the multiplayer. Oh my god, I'm about to die again. Okay. Here we go. Here's the next. Oh, okay. See, I didn't get, the secret. Under 5 minutes, not 5:34. So I wonder if that has to do with how quickly I beat that area where I had to, like, blow up the power, power cores or whatever that was. But here we go. I think this is cool. I mean, look at these graphics. And it could be like, you know, younger audiences wouldn't care for how this looks, but for me, this is like the ultimate. Okay. Oh, so they make it a tutorial. Okay, this I found to be very annoying. Because, like, you have to time, you can't just. Okay, that's doing a lot. Ah, and then, okay. It's like he won't let you hit. There we go. Until he does all his stuff. But if you do it too soon, there we go. Hey, yeah, the way they do the 3D, it's like they shouldn't have. Oh. They should have just kept it to the 2D like builder there. So there's so much here that is so awesome that I almost think it does sort of then, I guess, overtake its shortcomings. And I think maybe the shortcomings are just me being very critical over this being one of my favorite genres of games. But it's not like, and this is pretty cool where, yeah, you can just like chill here. Angel Grove Cafe, I think, or something like that, right? Or Juice Bar. Okay. Yeah, and then I have another level that I got to, I haven't beat yet. It was like I died. So if I was to restart, it would restart then my lives. So it's almost in your best interest to. And can I even exit here? Yeah, to exit and then go back and start story mode. So bonus modes has the combat training and then speed run. defeat Robo Rita unlock. And that's it. There's no unlocking moves. It's very strange. There's no even picking up weapons in the world like you do in most beat 'em ups. So I'm gonna get out. So I would say, and you know, it's $30 too. That's the other thing. So it's very hard for me to recommend this game. If you like beat 'em ups in general, I think you would like it. But if you, I don't know if you're not someone that likes beat 'em ups, if you would even care. Let's see. Midnight Hatter, did you catch that video last week where the original Red and Black Rangers talk about why they? Yeah, that's funny. I saw that video too. That's cool that it was getting pushed out to some of us. Because I remember that whole being a thing back in the day, but I did not know the details to that degree where they all kind of agreed to do it, but then a few of them didn't. And I like that they brought up, you know, at that age, at that time, you know, it's hard to say no to something like that. It's amazing that they said no to something like that, and when they could have just went through with it. But it's interesting too because you see, and this is no shade at any Power Ranger actor, but it's not like you necessarily see then these Power Ranger actors then get into some amazing careers. I mean, there are some that have done some cool things, but I guess, you know, it's almost like it's pretty cool that the Red Ranger and the Black Ranger kind of stood up, you know, even the Yellow Ranger, right? Yeah, they kind of stood up against that. So worst case scenario, there's that other Power Rangers beat 'em up fan game on the horizon. Yeah, and that one sounds good. You know what? You know what's interesting? There's that other. Let me see if I can pull it up because I actually have to get to work here. Let me. Here we go. Yeah, it's the Power Rangers Mega Battle. I played 14 hours of it. Mega Battle is really good. You actually start as teenagers and you fight. It's a beat 'em up, but you fight as the teenagers until you get enough power to then you can morph. And then it's interesting. I think Rita's Rewind has the better graphics, but Mega Battle is the better game. And better graphics by far. The Mega Battle graphics, I'll show you guys. You might be able to see in the background there. It's very much of the Flash game era style graphics. I don't know if I can. Those screenshots are tiny. Yeah, and I don't know if you can see that, but you can kind of look how they have like big heads, and it's like very clean art. It's good artwork, but that design is not that great. Interesting. You know, it's interesting for me, and maybe this is a personal thing. When I play a beat 'em up and I see what they're lacking, it's like, okay, why doesn't this beat 'em up do this? Like, if a beat 'em up doesn't have a double tap forward to run, it's like, why? Most do. You know, also using X and Y or square and triangle, like a two button attack combo system. When there's only one, like the Ninja Turtles game, it's like there's less for me to then think as I'm playing. So, and usually you want that 2-button attack because it could be that an XXY will then hit a guy with a shield, you know, something like that. You know, and so maybe I'm saying a lot of bad stuff about this Power Ranger game, but I am completely going to play through all of it. That's just how it is with these games. And I do like that it changes up by having those different game modes where you're on a bike, or you're not a bike. I keep saying a bike. But you're on your Zord, you know, and shooting. That's cool. That's reminiscent of like on the Super Nintendo, the Star Wars trilogy of games, where it had those Mode 7 levels. And then I like that Megazord battle thing. That's pretty neat, where you dodge and you punch. And it's funny, the Mega Battle Power Rangers game has that, but it's combined. Like, you're in a Megazord and you shoot and stuff, so. Anyway, wow, price I'd pay maybe $3. This is for that old one. No, I was just looking at the review here. That's interesting. Yeah, these types of games get me talking. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. That was fun to talk about this stuff. Power Rangers, Indiana Jones, all that. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with some more. Have a good rest of the day. See y'all later.